Guys. I just wanted to do a quick project share with you guys. I have always said I'm not an artist, I'm just a crafter. But I got inspired last year by the Art Sherpa to at least try to do some sort of artistic painting of some sort. Fall has always been my favorite time of the year. I love all the colors. So, last year, I drew these pumpkins and just was super proud of how well I drew these pumpkins because I'm not an artist, right? I'm not a painter. So I sat down. I decided I was going to do like a black outline on them and then didn't like that at all. Not at all. So I took some red and went over the black and then painted them. They were originally orange, and like this would be orange and this was copper and this was orange. You know, um, every other one was copper. And I was inspired to do that by just a plushy type pumpkin that I'd seen in a store that was like quilt work type or patchwork type. Okay, so everybody that looked at them hated them. Nobody liked the copper on them except for me. And that's what should matter. However, the more I the more I looked at them, the more I thought, I would like them better if I painted them orange and then put some of the more reddish tones in it. So that's what I did. This is the copper that I used. This Waverly, I got it at Walmart. It is beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So since I repainted the pumpkins all orange and then went in with some reds and some different mixtures of colors, I like them a whole lot better, but I still wanted that copper on there somewhere. So, I know it looks terrible because I don't do good at lettering. That's my own handwriting, and I just, winged it. I painted it on with I wrote it on there with a watercolor pencil, and then I just painted it on there with a brush. I didn't even have a small like a detail brush. Didn't have one. So what I wanted was, we have white siding on our house, and then our porches, both the front and the back door, have just a gray concrete. So that's kind of what I had in mind. I wanted it to look like it was sitting on concrete and then had a white wall behind it. And I put different shades of gray in there, even some white in there, and I kept looking at it and thinking, okay, because I swore I was going to get this done this year so I could hang it up in my house. Now, today is October 23rd, and we still have a whole nother month I can play with this, but I wanted it hung in my house, and I hadn't painted the stems. I hadn't done anything else. I just had the pumpkins painted. I did the Hello Fall, and so I took it in there and I said to my husband, I said, baby, it needs something. What does it need? I said, this down here, I'm thinking about doing that, redoing that, and doing like wood planks. He said, why don't you paint some leaves on there? I said, are you kidding me? I did good to do the pumpkins. So I came in here, dug around in my stamps, and found some leaf stamps that I'd purchased. I tried stamping them on there. However, this is a canvas, so it's not solid, so I didn't get a good impression. So he came in here, and he was going to help me because my husband is extremely artistic, and he works with metal, but he can draw. And so he said, can I see your paintbrush? And I was in here just making a mess of this down here. I said, sure, if you can help me out here, great. So he painted a leaf, and it looked alright, but it still didn't look the way that I wanted it to look. I wanted it to look kind of like this leaf. Now, fast forward. I had seen on, I believe the channel is, is Auntie Cuckoo. I think that's her screen name. It's Auntie, Auntie, and then it's Cuckoo, Coocoo. I saw where she did on a picture frame, I believe it was. She took a Dollar Tree styrofoam carvable pumpkin. She cut it in half. Then she painted it, I think, off-white. And then she kind of shaved a little bit off of one half so that they would stack and stagger on top of each other. She hot glued it to that picture frame. I fell in love with that idea. So I happened to have one of those carvable pumpkins from last year, and so I carved it. I didn't like how bright orange it was, but I didn't want to go white. I still wanted those beautiful orange fall colors. So I completely repainted them. I repainted them with an orange, and then I did a mixture like I did on those and painted it on here, and I did like reds down it through the groove and kind of faded it into the orange. Alright, so that's laid around for about a week and a half. I painted the little stem kind of green with brown streaks in it. So that laid around, and I got busy doing other things. So last night, I thought, you know what? I have screwed around long enough with this. I had purchased this canvas from Dollar General, of all places, for $3. I painted kind of a tan color on it. Let's see if you can get a more accurate, well, maybe there. But I did it kind of streaky with darker shades and lighter shades like this. And, I mean, it no more dried. And I had the hot glue gun heating up. And I glued these two together. And I thought, okay, I'm going to let that canvas dry. I got all kinds of excited, and it just barely dried. And I was gluing these pumpkins to this canvas. So then I took this jute twine that I have. I have two different colors. I have the more natural color and then the lighter color. And I did two of each strand, tied bows, and then my desk here is a mess. So anyway, I had these leaves left from last year. So I had tied the bow, I glued it to the stem, I glued the stem and the pumpkins, I glued the pumpkins together, and then again, the canvas barely dried, and I glued them to the canvas. And if you want to see her video, like I said, her channel is called Auntie Cuckoo. Hers is absolutely adorable, and I knew I had to make it. So, this is my take on it. I went ahead and took these leaves, and these came in a package that I believe I got from Dollar General last year. But it had a mixture of all of these different types of leaves. Like this one, I think they're all maple leaves, but they're different colorings of maple leaves. And then this one is kind of shimmery. Alright, so I finished that last night. I was over the moon proud of myself with it. And thought, you know what? Because I showed it to my husband. I'm going to bring this canvas back over. I showed it to my husband, and he said, well, why didn't you do leaves like that? Or why couldn't you paint leaves like that on your canvas? I said, baby, I didn't paint these leaves. And I was kind of at a distance from him. And he said, you didn't? And I said, no. I took it closer, and I said, these are fake leaves. And he went, well, why don't you put those on your canvas? So today, I tied a little bow for each one of my pumpkins. I put a bigger leaf on the little pumpkin, and two little leaves on the big pumpkin. I know, I'm a little weird by doing that, but I did. That's what I wanted. And like I said, I got my stems painted last night, and then I glued all these leaves down here at the bottom because his whole idea was you need like little patches of leaves like they'd kind of blown up there. And I loved the idea, which was why I was trying to paint leaves, because again, he's artistic and he has that artistic eye, and he had told me I needed leaves down there, which I had never thought of. Finally, my canvas is finished. I am going to date this little guy and put on the back, that just in case my son ends up with it one day, which he's really good about wanting to keep things like this that I do because I'm not an artist. I just have always said to him all his life, you can do anything you want to do. If you want to do it bad enough, you've just got to try. If you never try, then you already fail. And so he said to me one day, and I'll try not to tear up when I say this, but he said to me one day, about a year and a half ago, Mom, you said to me all my life I could do anything I want to do. And I was standing there shaking my head like, you can. And I said, I believe that. He said, then why can't you do anything you want to do if you want to do it bad enough and you're willing to try? If you never try, then you already fail. It was him saying that back to me that really kind of made me rethink everything that I do with paper, everything that I want to do as far as this type of stuff for my home. Because I'm in my home a lot, and I don't work out of my home, so I'm here more than they are. So I get to look at these walls more than they do. And because of that, I want to be able to look at something on the wall and go, wow, because I tried, I was able to do that. I shared all of this with you today, one, because that is an adorable thing, and if anybody else wants to try it, I say absolutely try it, because it is so easy and so stinking cute. Don't mind the Christmas stuff I have laying around, because I am working on cards, but that's adorable. Come on. And I'd say, I used cheap craft paint. I used reds and oranges and yellows and white, and obviously I mixed a gray and white. A gray with a black and white, and green, just whatever shade of green floats your boat, because these are easy, guys. A pumpkin is super easy to draw because it doesn't have to be perfect. That's the wonderful thing about a pumpkin. It's got lumps and bumps everywhere. So if you have a lumpy pumpkin like this one, see, he's lumpy all over, but it's perfect. Try something new today. I personally am grateful to the Art Sherpa for encouraging people to try art, because art is in so many different forms. This canvas is art, but that's art too. Try something new today. You guys, thanks for spending a little bit of time with me. I certainly appreciate it. I hope y'all have a great day and a glorious tomorrow. Bye, guys.